hopefully you can hear me. As you can see, everything around me is a mess right now. I am, and per the picture at the very beginning of this, you can tell that I tested positive for COVID. When I spoke to you the last time, my daughter had just tested positive, but we weren't certain if we had even been around each other enough yet, because it had been like a day, you know, 2 days before she was certain. But, and one of those she had been working the whole day. This is the first day that I felt like I could breathe enough to talk, even though, oh, I'm sorry. I'm still really tired. I've been sleeping a lot, waking enough to eat or drink. My daughter's been bringing me in lots of mullein tea to help with my lungs. I wanted to show you, before I forget, because I will forget if I don't say it, I wanted to show you that I have figured out something I want in my sleeping arrangement in the van, even though we haven't gotten to that because we both got sick before we could do anything. Fortunately, it's long enough time that I'm still going to have time to work on that and get that done. But I wanted to show you this. When you're sleeping with a lot of mucus in your head, it helps to, if you have like a recliner, sleep in a recliner or something that keeps your head up so that the mucus doesn't just, go down into your lungs as easily. It also helps you to be able to breathe and to cough up the phlegm and stuff like that better. I'm gonna check if this is, wait. Oh, did I mention there's a lot of brain fog too? But this is the part I wanted to show you first. I'm gonna move these pillows out of the way. Okay. And this is what I did. I took one of my cushions from the van that was on top of the totes. I brought it in with the board that was under it. I took the sheet off because, of course, it was dirty after all the trip and everything. But I took the board first. Lift this up here. I took the board and I wrapped a towel over it so that it wasn't the board hitting against the wall and gonna scratch up my daughter's wall. Then I put on the padding and I put another thick towel over that. Then I can adjust, I can either have it up at a higher rate, down at a 45-degree rate, or just down on the end of the bed. And this one works really good for when I'm watching TV or something like that. But the 45-degree angle, and I do put this blanket on there because of the difference between the cushion and the mattress. It also helps the board to stay in place. But with this, it makes it so that I can actually sleep in an upright position so that I can breathe. And now I'm going to stop a moment and I'll come back to this in a moment. Okay, now that I explained that, hold on a second. That has been one of my biggest helps. Another big help has been basically treating the symptoms. You know, cough drops, these are just about worthless. But there is another kind. Let me see if I can find them here. Here we go. This kind, I don't know if you can read it, but it's called Fisherman's Friend. This has twice the menthol in it that those, what you would think cheaper Walmart are, they really are just cheaper. But twice the medicine in this, and this is only a little over $2 at Walmart or online on Amazon as well. I will put a link in there for this because these are some of the best I've found. This is what my daughter had. I have used, well, first off, I've been really grateful for these masks from Walgreens that the transient bishop gave me so that I wouldn't get anyone sick when we didn't know what I had back then, and it was just the altitude. But I have also used this to help with the altitude. It's oxygen, and it did help a lot with the altitude. So they sell these at Walmart and several other drugstores. They're $10 to $20 depending on the size that you're getting per can. And this can has lasted me because I was told with the altitude sickness to use oxygen instead of my asthma inhaler, my emergency inhaler, that the emergency inhaler would cause damage, whereas this would not, because it was actually a lack of oxygen and not just regular asthma treatments. Beyond that, you can tell I got a lot of stuff down here. My Equate Cold Relief. I've always had this on hand in the car, no matter where I am. However, you do have to keep it like in a dry bag and in a cooler, because otherwise the effervescence puffs the bag up, and then you don't get much effervescence left in the actual remedy. So even though I was able to use a few of the pack that I had, most of them I had to toss because they really were not of any use for me. But the new box helped. I tell you what, had I had my herbs with me, I could have treated this so much easier and faster. But in the meantime, I'm treating symptoms and not the actual cause, which is a lack of immunity. Sorry, I am drinking a lot now. I wasn't this whole last week. I was very dehydrated. I was barely able to take a sip at a time without not being able to breathe from the mucus and all. It would stop me up so I couldn't drink. This Equate Cold and Flu multi-symptom works pretty good. The ingredients are basically the same as the Theraflu. My daughter swears that her Theraflu works better, but I've tried both. The Theraflu is a more direct contact, but as far as working better, not necessarily. It worked basically the same for me. Then I have also been on this immune 24-hour plus stuff to help boost my immune system. It has a whole lot of good stuff, including elderberry, echinacea, and other things I cannot read because I'd have to play accordion and my magnifying app is on that phone. So, but it's good stuff. It is. I appreciate it. I have also, let me see here, had my zinc and vitamin C. I read the research online. I heard, oh, well, it's not proven to work, but you know what? It has helped a lot, and this one's chewable. So the ones that I had before from my mom when we were trying to not get COVID when it first came out and all, that tasted so horrid. I couldn't put it in anything to drink. My mom would gag it down with some orange juice, but I just could not. This I can stomach. It's chewable, it's done, it's good. It tastes basically like vitamin C, but it's strong. Then what? This has been a big help. I only just got it. It doesn't have the best of, what's that word? It's not the best recommended. A lot of people say it works for a couple of weeks and then it stops working. I do not know because I've only had it a few days. It is really nice. I can put batteries in it if I want, which I probably will when I get out to the car and get my rechargeable batteries. Or I can just hook it up to a USB-C drive and use it that way, straight plugged in from my laptop or from my phone for that matter. If I had a C to a C, my phone would work for that. But this has been helpful. I put a little bit of water, a little bit of hydrogen peroxide, really help moisten up the throat and the lungs a lot. And then I added, this is my most recent add, was Colloidal Silver, and I will actually be replacing the liquid in that and putting in the Colloidal Silver and some distilled water mix for that. This one is a 30 ppm parts per, I don't know anymore, but basically the one you normally take by mouth is 10 ppm. This is 30 ppm, so it's stronger, but it's still, I think it said, let's see, 1 teaspoon 2 times daily for a week. And I'm working on that, and it is helping. The best that I have found for my breathing, because I was trying Vicks, it really didn't even touch this stuff. But this R.C. that my friend gave me from Young Living, and I will be happy to get you in contact with her if you want to order this stuff. She does Young Living. A lot of people sell it online. I've even seen it on Amazon now, but I don't know those people, and I don't know how trustworthy they are. I do know that I trust Young Living, and I trust my friend, Carolyn. So you're supposed to take this and put it in a carrier oil with a little rub-on thingy, and then use it. In my case, I didn't have any carrier oils, and I wasn't going to go out shopping with COVID. So I took and I put a drop of this, and I pushed it on my glands there, and then across my chest there. And it cleaned up my breathing so instantaneous. I've never seen anything quite like it. But yeah, this is definitely, keep this in your supply if you do a year supply, or in your medicine chest. This stuff is, it's amazing. The first time I did it, I could barely breathe, and there was so much mucus. And so I did that, and it was like whoosh. It was so clean and instant. You know, even now you can kind of hear the difference in my voice from just now doing it. But yeah, the RC, Young Living RC is what it's called. And it's fabulous. It's just fabulous. So definitely get you some of that. Keep it. I'll gladly give you Carolyn's information if you ask me for it. So you can contact her and make an order. But remember the things that I do list that are on Amazon, that I am an Amazon affiliate. I will get a percentage of those. I don't do the Young Living, but that's a testament of how awesome it is. And Carolyn does it, so I'm happy to toss, any sales her way that I can. I have another video of the next thing I'm going to be using to help boost my health in getting over this. I've been very fortunate, very, very blessed that when this happened, I was here at my daughter's. I had a place inside, which was something that my son-in-law did for me. He said he moved out of his office so that he could set me up a bedroom and a place for working and doing stuff. And I am so very grateful. He's a good, wonderful guy. I really appreciate Cameron. When we go to build my bed in the van, I will definitely make certain that there is a way to have a propped up 45-degree angle. I find if I can put it down flat, but if I have to, I'll just keep it at an angle. But that's the way it's going to be, because I need that angle I can't sleep on my back unless I have a 45-degree angle. That's why I have a hospital bed, and have had one for years. I'm sure a lot of it is due to the weight, but it's also due to a number of other things. Since my operation with my gallbladder, it started making my weight sit differently on my gut and against my ribs. And there's no way to really explain it, but that's what it does. In the meantime, I'm grateful, very grateful that you are out there praying for me. And I ask you to keep it up. It is working. I feel like I've accomplished nothing this week, but I've accomplished or am accomplishing the most important thing, and that is healing my body, building my immune system, so that as I go on, either I can help others to get through it, or my body will have an easier time getting through it. I pray that you guys, your health is good. And I'm so grateful to have you there. You encourage me and you lift me up. And I need that. And God bless.